The NBA and the NHL Playoffs both start tomorrow, Saturday, April 20th. I figured, why not predict both of these playoffs? Now, I will say, I'm a little bit more of a casual fan of both of these leagues compared to baseball, football, and the UFC, but it could be a good bit of fun, so why not make some predictions? Now, because I'm more of a casual fan, I'm simply going to pick the winner of each series all the way until the finals. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but I'll try to give my reasoning for these picks as best I can. We're going to start in the NBA. Now, before I make any predictions, I first want to say I hate the new play-in tournament. I think it's pretty dumb that teams that are 10 games under 500, like the Bulls and the Hawks, get a chance to compete for the NBA Finals. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't like it. Nevertheless, I'm going to start in the Eastern Conference. We've got the 1 seed Celtics taking on the 8 seed, which is either the Miami Heat or the Chicago Bulls. Pretty easy choice here, going with the Celtics. They're the best team in the league for a reason. I am recording this on Friday, the 19th, before the last 2 play-in games have happened, so the 8 seeds are yet to be determined, but I'm picking both 1 seeds. I don't think it's going to matter that much. We've got the 4 seed Cavaliers taking on the 5 seed Magic. I think the Cavs are a lot better than the Magic, and I'm going to pick them in 5. We've got the 3 seed Bucks taking on the 6 seed Pacers. Even though the Bucks are going to start the series without Giannis, I think they just have way more depth than the Pacers, and I'm going to pick them in 6. I think the Pacers could make it close at the beginning of the series, and once Giannis comes back, it'll be wraps from there. In the last first round matchup in the East, we got the 2 seed Knicks. Don't know how that happened. Up against the 7 seed 76ers. I might be a little biased for this one because I'm a Celtics fan. I'm not a big fan of either of these guys, but I'm actually going with the 76ers. I think the Knicks, I don't know how they made it to the 2 seed. I think they're pretty overrated. Julius Randle isn't bad. He's pretty good, but I don't see them clutching up here in the playoffs. Give me the 76ers in 6. Alright, in the East, in the second round, we've got the 1 seed Celtics taking on the 4 seed Cavaliers. In the regular season, they had some pretty good games. I'm going to pick the Celtics. I think they just have too much depth and too much talent. But out of any series in the East, I think the Cavaliers probably give the Celtics the toughest challenge. But I'm picking the Celtics anyway. In the other Eastern Conference semifinal, you got the 3 seed Bucks taking on the 7 seed 76ers. At this point, Giannis should be back, and maybe not 100%, but he'll be good enough to go, and this should be enough to get the Bucks the win here. Give me the Bucks in 5. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, I've got the Celtics taking on the Bucks yet again in the playoffs, and I think the Celtics can get it done. It's always a tough series, these two teams playing each other, but I think similar to how the Celtics-Cavs, I think they're going to go. I think the Celtics just have too much talent and too much depth, so I'm picking the Celtics in 6. So that makes your Eastern Conference champions the Boston Celtics. Alright, over in the Western Conference, we've got the 1 seed Thunder taking on either the Pelicans or the Kings. I think the Kings are going to beat the Pelicans in the last play-in game, but I don't think the Kings are going to beat the Thunder. I'm going to pick Thunder in 5. Up next, we've got the 4 seed Clippers taking on the 5 seed Mavericks. The Clippers are kind of a disappointment. They've got all the talent in the world, and they just can't seem to put everything together. And the Mavs have Luka, which is pretty much all they need, and Kyrie. I'm going to pick the Mavs. I think this could be a long series, one of the best series of the first round. I'm going to pick the Mavs in 7. Up next, we got the Timberwolves taking on the Suns. Now, the Suns, similar to the Clippers, a lot of talent on that team, especially Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. And the Timberwolves kind of overachieved this year, I think. They got Gobert, they got Anthony Edwards. Now, the Suns, I think they just have too much talent and too much playoff experience, and I think they can pull it off, but this could be another good series. In the last first-round matchup in the West, 2 seed Nuggets with the 7 seed Lakers. I've got a sweep. I think the Nuggets are going to just demolish the Lakers. Sorry, LeBron, but you can't do it all yourself. Alright, up in the second round in the West, we got the 1 seed Thunder taking on the 5 seed Mavericks. I think the Thunder can pull this one off. Luka's real good, but I don't know if he can carry the Mavericks past the Thunder. Thunder in 6. And in the other Western semifinal, we got the 6 seed Suns taking on the 2 seed Nuggets. I think the Nuggets are really good, so I'm going to pick the Nuggets. I think the Suns can pull off a game at home, but give me Nuggets in 5. In the Western Conference Final, we've got the 1 seed Thunder taking on the 2 seed Nuggets. Just like the last series, I really like the Nuggets, and I think they can win in 6. So your Western Conference champions will be the Denver Nuggets. In the finals, we've got the 2 seed out of the West, the Denver Nuggets, taking on the 1 seed out of the East, the Boston Celtics. In my opinion, these are easily the 2 best teams in the league. The Celtics have been in this tricky position for the last few years where they've been right at that top level, but they end up choking in the conference finals or the NBA finals every time. But I think this is the year that they can finally pull it off. Now, Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets, a damn good team, defending champions, but I think the Celtics just have too much depth. Their entire starting lineup could be all-stars. That's how much depth they have. So it's not just one superstar carrying the team. So I'm going to pick the Celtics, and I'm going to pick them in 7. The regular season series between the Nuggets and the Celtics went the Nuggets' way, but I think the Celtics can just pull it off. So your 2024, or does this count as 2023? I don't know. But your NBA champions will be the Boston Celtics. Alright, moving over to the NHL now. Starting this time in the Western Conference. In the first round, we've got the Dallas Stars taking on the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Vegas is the defending champion, but Dallas is the best team in the league. I'm going to pick Dallas here. Up next, we've got the Winnipeg Jets taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Now, the Avs have that veteran presence led by Nathan MacKinnon, who, as much as he feels young still, he's become a real leader over for the Avs. He's still one of the best centers in the league. The Jets are pretty good, but I think the Avalanche's star power is going to be enough to take them to the second round. Up next, we've got the Vancouver Canucks taking on the Nashville Predators. I don't have too much to say about this one. I'm going with the Canucks. I think they're one of the best teams in the league, and I don't know very much about the Predators. I'm sorry, so I'm picking the Canucks. And in the last first-round matchup in the West, we've got the Edmonton Oilers taking on the Los Angeles Kings. The Oilers, they're a tricky team to talk about. They've got what should be the best offense in the whole league. McDavid, Draisaitl, you can't beat them, But every year they're defending and their goalkeeping holds them back. Now, I think this year they can break out of the first round, and I think they're going to beat the Kings. I just don't think the Kings are that good. But you never know. But I'm going with the Oilers. Up next, we've got the second round, and we've got the Dallas Stars taking on the Colorado Avalanche. Again, I think the Stars are the best team in the league. And even though Colorado's got the veterans with the experience, the championship pedigree is there, I don't know. I can't pick against the Stars. The Stars are really good. They've got so much talent all over their roster. I gotta go with the Stars here. In the other second round matchup, we've got the Canucks taking on the Oilers. I think this is where Edmonton's defense and goaltending lets them down, and I'm going with the Canucks. I think they're just more well-rounded. And in the Western Conference Final, we've got the Dallas Stars taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Again, I just think the Stars are too good. I'm picking the Stars here. Alright, over in the Eastern Conference, we've got the Florida Panthers taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the battle for Florida. The Panthers shocked the world last year, beating the President's Trophy winning Boston Bruins and going all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals before eventually losing to Vegas. Now, the Lightning haven't been able to match their success from the last few years, but they're still a pretty good team. I think Florida can get it done, but you can never count out the Lightning. Vasilevsky's really good in the goal. Their whole offense is stacked. No Kucherov, but I don't know. I'm going with Florida. Up next, we got a good one. We've got the Boston Bruins taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs again in the first round. The more things change, the more they stay the same. I'm picking the Boston Bruins to knock out the Leafs in the first round again. The Leafs, they've struggled so much with getting out of the first round, and I think it continues this year. In the next matchup, we've got the New York Rangers taking on the Washington Capitals. I think the Rangers are a really good team. I think the Capitals are not a really good team. Give me the Rangers. And in the last first round matchup in the East, I've got the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the New York Islanders. The Hurricanes, another really good team. Islanders, not bad. You never really know what you're going to get out of their goalies. And I think the Hurricanes are just too well-rounded. Just give me the Hurricanes. Alright, in the second round, we've got a rematch of last year's first round, Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. As much as it pains me to pick against my Boston Bruins, I'm going to. I think Florida's just better at this point. Boston's pretty old. I think their championship window is almost closed at this point. I think last year was the best chance they'll pretty much ever have. They were the best team ever for a reason last year, and they blew it. So, I think the Panthers are moving on. In the other second round matchup, we got the New York Rangers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. I am a bit of a Rangers hater, being from New England, so I'm going to go with the Hurricanes. In the Eastern Conference Finals, we got the Florida Panthers taking on the Carolina Hurricanes, and I think the Hurricanes can beat the Panthers, and they're going to move on. Alright, in the Stanley Cup Finals, we got the Dallas Stars taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Dallas, I think they're the best team in the league. Carolina, pretty damn good team too. This might go against what I've been saying in this whole bracket, but I'm going to go with Carolina. I think they can pull it off. Alright, that'll wrap this video up. I know this was probably my longest video I've done on this channel yet. I mentioned this back at the intro, but I'm more of a casual fan of both of these leagues. So take my picks with a grain of salt. I haven't watched much all year, but I don't know. I figured it could be fun. You could see how I do. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who's going to win? Who's going to lose? And enjoy the games, everyone. It should be a good next month and a half for both of these leagues.